David Cornsweet will not be the only man suiting up in the DCU and playing Superman, as it's stated that Henry Cavill is in fact in this film also playing Superman. So let's get down to the bottom of this insane rumor and theory. So obviously, the DCU is a brand new universe that is separate from the DCEU, aka the previous iteration that was started by Zack Snyder and co. And that universe is largely behind us, although not in its entirety, because we know that Peacemaker Season 2, which is still set in the old DCEU, will end and somehow bring the whole concept of Peacemaker and those supporting characters into the DCU and then continue to exist in that universe. We've already seen that Frank Grillo, who is playing Rick Flag Sr., the father of Rick Flag in the Suicide Squad, is also in this upcoming Superman film, and obviously most people are connecting the dots that this is the same deal with Peacemaker. It's sort of a through line to bring them in. But for everything that we're about to talk about to make sense, we got to go back to what James Gunn and Peter Safran said when they announced that the DCU was going to be a reboot of the DCEU. And they said that everything that was currently happening, including upcoming films like Black Adam, Shazam, and Blue Beetle, were all in the old DCEU, and that The Flash would then restart the universe. Again, this is key. They never leaned off of this even after the release of the film. So, is it possible that whatever Flash did is going to have a cause and effect that ripples through everything? I definitely think that that's the case, and how you're going to get Peacemaker, the cast of the Suicide Squad, Amanda Waller, and others to exist in the DCU, and we don't really question anything. The universe has changed. Which then brings us to the latest Superman set photos and how it involves Henry Cavill. So as most of you know, the character of Ulysses, or Ulysses, depending on where you're from and how you pronounce it, it's one of those two, is a survivor of Earth 2, who has a lot of parallels with Superman, including things like flight, invulnerability, and super strength to match Superman toe-to-toe. Now, in the comics, this character's real name is Neil Quinn, and again, he has ties to Superman and the bigger DC universe, but also, his story mirrors Clark Kent's, aka he's the last survivor of a planet. His parents get him ready before their planet is destroyed. They shoot him off into space, and he is known as the last son of Earth. But of course, the reason I'm explaining all this, and the reason I had to explain the multiverse concept, is because it's a multiverse story. Which now brings us to Henry Cavill's Superman. So a lot of speculation, rumors, and even some people are saying there's more to Ulysses in the DCU, but they won't confirm what it is. And of course, I'm not believing that they know. But the working theory is that the reason that the character is so jacked and huge and dwarfs Superman, David Cornsweet's Superman, on the set of the film is because that's going to be Henry Cavill underneath the suit and the mask. And that essentially everybody from the old universe got reshuffled to something else, and well, his survival was as Ulysses in this universe. And while that's a good theory, I feel like that's honestly pulling a lot in this film. You gotta explain Superman's new origin and who he is, the Daily Planet, his early days as Superman. You got to show all the other heroes, including Green Lantern, Mr. Terrific, multiple villains. You're also bringing in people from the DCU, like apparently Peacemaker is going to join Frank Grillo, who we saw in set photos. And then you're also going to add the former Superman, but this time he's not Superman, he's playing the villain. I mean, that is so much to pack into one film. Not to mention, this would cause such an uproar among the fan base of the DCEU and Zack Snyder stuff that I honestly think they would want to avoid that at every single corner and every single turn. Like, that's just not needed when James Gunn is always under fire 24/7 for anything he does. Like, he's the Tony Khan of the comic book world. He can literally be like, guys, I saved an animal from getting run over by a truck. And people would be like, yeah, but why didn't you stop the animal that did? What a phony he is. Like, that's how people treat everything James Gunn does. This would just be another, like, you know, reason for them to hate him. So I don't know. What do you guys make of this? Is Cavill going to play Ulysses? Because that would be absolutely wild. I don't think he is, but hey, people got some theories, and who knows? Maybe they're crazy enough to do it.